I had the wrong window selected.
With the dramatic pause, Dutta. My God, man.
Really honest, man.
Good Lord.
So things to note.
A moment of silence for John.
That would have been appropriate last week. That would be the last time you see that show close. We have a new show close. We've got a new open. You've seen the new show close, right? Yeah, it's in the Slack channel. Got a new open. We've got new graphics that are basically complete. I think we're locked in on those, the black version with the blue swooshes. New comment slates. I'm working on the new Patreon slates next, the new open, and then much to everyone's dismay in this room, most likely a new promo video for Orbit 10. And I was told that the current promo video was my peak, and I can't do any better than that during the break.
Ouch.
Come on.
Thanks.
I
I'm hungry.
Get to say anything like that to you because my brain doesn't work that quickly.
Thanks. That's great.
It just came out.
That's great.
I hunger.
To be fair, that was a really, really good promo video, and you will have a hard time to top that.
No, he won't.
I
mean, he will, but like he won't.
I feel like
It's Ben. That kind of crap comes out of his mouth all the time.
I'm pregnant with a baby Ben, I think.
so the new promo video is a little. It's going to be.
Wait, what?
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Please name your child Ben.
No.
Dada,
No.
do you have the 30-second promo music? Not the full thing, just the 30-second from the new. It's somewhere in Slack. Are you able to call that up? So this will be the music for the new promo video. It's going to be a slightly different feel. It's a slightly more dramatic feel for this one, and it will be multiple voices. So this last promo video was one voice, but we do this, we do this, we do this. It'll definitely be a we, but instead of just one male voice, every line will be a different person's voice. Ideally, not one of us, so that it's you've got all the different voices during the show, plus all the different voices in the promo piece, which I think will be really interesting. Let me know when you're. Are you?
We should get Alexa to do one of the lines.
That'd be kind of awesome. You got it, Dada?
You want the 30?
Yeah, do the 30. Here's the 30. Here's the 30-second promo. There you go. That's the music for the promo piece coming up.
So much drama.
When I picture in my head when I hear that music is like these doors slowly opening and you see like 5 or 6 figures in spacesuits and slowly the lights come on and you see that it's all of us.
Kind of, not quite. What you will see are doors opening, revealing Jupiter with someone floating in front of it. That is part of the piece. We've got a Mars landing for some of this. I mean, there's a lot of incredible stuff that will be happening in this promo piece.
We still have to do an open.
I know.
Okay. Because this one just got comfortable.
Freeze all motor functions. I wasn't sure if it would work.
Do it right now while he's got a mouthful of Oreo.
Coming up.
Electron rockets.
Right there.
Yep, that's how that sounds to me.
Gross.
What was your favorite story, Space Mike?
Electron rocket.
All right. You, Jared?
Mars Minerals.
Are you on?
Mars Minerals.
Yeah, are you on?
Mars Minerals.
There we go.
Hi, Dad Dog.
Hi, Dad Dog.
Also, why haven't you joined us for the other shows if you've just been laid up anyway?
Yeah, what the heck?
Also, miss you.
What the heck, bro?
Bro. All right, then I'll say... I have an interview about NASA 3D printed habitats. See, it's not NASA 3D printed habitats, though. It's a challenge. I have an interview with... We talk about NASA's Centennial Challenge for 3D printed habitats. Is that too much?
Sounds good.
All right, and then you'll open the show?
Sure.
All right, here we go. It'll be Mike, Jared, me, Carrie Ann. Number 1. right over his face. No, where do I need to go? There we go. Number one.
And we just created a world.
Number one. Here we go. Space Mike, you first.
Coming up, the Electron rocket is ready for flight.
Mars minerals.
I talk about the NASA Centennial Challenge 3D printed habitation contest.
All that and more on this last episode of 2016. Thanks for joining us. Tomorrow begins right now.
The hell was that?
I don't know.
Did the right now! Oh my gosh!
You did do the
one.
right now, but it was like you just kept. Felt like all that and more. Plus this miniature novel of things I'm going to say.
I don't know. I was thinking about something completely different. You stopped talking. I was like, oh, I need to say things now. So I'm going to say everything that's in my head.
I'm glad. Here's number two. This is number two. I feel like. All right. Number two.
Coming up, the Electron rocket is ready for test flights.
Mars minerals.
I'm going to talk about the NASA Centennial Challenge's 3D printed habitat contest.
And I'm probably going to screw this open. All of that and more on this last episode of 2016.
Oh, we're using that.
Tomorrow begins!
Right now! Oh my God.
I think we should use that one.
I think we should use that one too.
That was too good.
That was pretty good. That's it. We're
Print
using that
that.
one. You all right with that one?
Yeah, I don't care. That's fine.
I did enjoy our.
I checked out.
Would you like some Oreos? Because I brought half the bag with me.
They've been on the floor.
Would you like some
that's even
Oreos?
better.
Dada, would you like some Oreos?
You want some MDF coated Oreos?
No, thank you.
No, these Oreos are from the mythical land of Baker.
Are they somehow different from other Oreos?
These are double stuffed.
MDF.
There's meth in them.
They're double stuffed.
No, there's
Give me-
MDF on them because he brought them into this facility. For those who've been playing the Tomorrow Orbit 10 set home game, we got the planet up and then it fell. We got the planet back up again.
That's what she said?
And stapled to the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
I that the air conditioning doesn't break down anytime soon because of all the MDF.
No, ironically, the heat, however, does not work in this room,
That's correct.
which is amazing.
It's currently 68 in here.
I mean, I'm freezing.
I'm fine. It's all good.
Are you cold?
No, I'm fine.
All right,
I'm
just
not
checking.
in the mythical land of Arizona.
It's all good.
Hot as hell.
We're getting, you know what's interesting? We recently were very close to $1,400 per episode on Patreon, which means that I think sometime at the end of Orbit 10, maybe early Orbit 11, we might reach that next milestone marker of $2,000 per episode, which means you
Get to travel more.
get to travel and fly every Saturday,
What you've always wanted.
which you've always
Yeah.
wanted.
Frequent flyer miles, here I come.
Boom!
Not really. It's like 10.
No, it doesn't matter. You also get the...
I think I'm just earning all those points per bend, though.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. I don't know if you know this. You can't. That's not possible. That's impossible.
So annoying.
Yeah.
That's all right. At the end of 5 years, you'll be able to get a free ride here. It's like so little miles. It's stupid.
But remember, for that, it's not just miles, it's also legs.
No, I know.
So, well, at least for MQMs.
Sure,
and
but for him, it's a leg.
Yeah, but it would be.
Leg.
Yeah, but it'll
What is-
be,
what
let's
is
say
it?
we did another 41 shows, that would be 82 legs.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's like gold or platinum status.
All right. Cool.
Better selection.
Thanks for watching.
Can we have a
may or
slightly
may not
bigger
happen,
goal where
guys.
we all fly to Mike instead?
Awesome. Although it'd be a terrible set.
Well, actually, one of the things I do want to do, maybe at $2,500 or $3,000 per episode, is I want us to get out a lot more. I mean, I want that in general, anyhow. But we should go to more shows, more conferences and whatnot. Not to cover the conferences live. We tried that for a while, and that failed miserably. people just do not watch those. It's just not fun or interesting. But what we can do,
Wouldn't recommend it.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work for very little return.
there's like no return. It's like negative return. It just doesn't make any sense. But what we can do is instead of covering the conference, you go, interesting people are at the conference, you go and talk to them. You go to talk to them for like 30 minutes, and you turn that into a space pod, right? I mean, and you rip all the stuff out and you turn it into like a 5-minute space pod. But then for the patrons, you can be like, all right, well, here's the unedited whole thing, right? Great content for patrons, and this nice little compact, more interesting thing for the people who don't want to just, right? So the hardcore nerds get to see all this stuff, and then the people who aren't as hardcore, which is fine, who just kind of want the headlines, they get that too, and it's from interesting people in an environment that isn't a set like this, right? So that's one of the things I want to do. I actually want to send this guy out to do that. I will probably do that before 5,000. Once we hit 5,000, I'll be able to send him a lot more, like we can actually pay him a reasonable amount of money to do this, which, right? I mean, it's a fair thing, right? So yeah, prior to that, you will not get a reasonable amount of money to do this. Just so you know.
Hey, just being able to go and meet some of those amazing people is payment enough to me. I mean, that's just
Yeah, you say that now.
I've got that recorded.
after
man.
the 10th one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, they take a lot out of you. But ultimately, that's what I want to start doing. Hopefully by Orbit 10, actually, I want to start doing some of that stuff. Somewhere, it might be Orbit 11. It will be somewhere around, I think, the $2,000 per episode mark. And then we'll probably end up doing that once every 2 months. Does it seem like a reasonable number, Space Mike? I'm kind of making stuff up, but...
Yeah, I mean, we need to look more stuff into it, but I mean, I know that there's definitely like the 4 big conferences that I want to attend, and like even if we just started at like, you know, a handful of conferences a year and just moved it up to more and more stuff as we get funding. I mean, because as you say, that sort of content is really cool, and I really like your idea of having the longer format, you know, however long that interview was, and more of a soundbite version that has, you know, graphics and media overlaying on top of it to, you know, very quickly show the point and the concept of whatever, you know, whoever it was that we were talking to was trying to get across.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Kind of the same idea as After Dark. So the thing I don't like are walled gardens. So there has to be, the balancing act that we constantly are working with here on TMRO is trying to find a way to make sure that whether you contribute to the show or not, you have access to everything. Because I don't want to say, well, only people who give us money get the information. I'm not okay with that. But if you are willing to help contribute to the show and help us to do these things, because let's be frank, we cannot do this without money. It takes money to do these cool things. If you're willing to do that, you should get something in return for your contribution. It's not a donation. I hate that. Never call Patreon a donation. It is not a donation. You are getting something in return. So something like that is really awesome where you go, okay, cool, here's the quick, 5-minute video. There was a full 30-minute video that's basically unedited. We're gonna give that to patrons, but then 4 weeks later, much like After Dark, in 4 weeks, everyone can have access to it, right? So you still get the information. We're not preventing you from getting it, but if you want it right now, you gotta pay for it. That's kind of my thought process there. I also am leaning towards the idea of advertisements are stupid. They interrupt the show, no one cares, they just do not work in a hyper-modern show like TMRO. And so I have been working diligently in YouTube, and by the way, this goes to everyone, including Lisa, when you post your YouTube video, go to the monetization settings and switch it from monetized to track in all countries to turn off all the ads. I don't want ads on our videos. You guys are contributing through Patreon. That is how we monetize this show. You should not be forced to watch advertisements. Frankly, the advertisements bring in tens of dollars anyhow. It is not worth the interruption. No, really.
Yeah.
It is not worth the interruption for us to get $10 per month so that you have to be annoyed by an ad. That's stupid. So shut all that stuff off.
To be fair, anyone who's a patron from Patreon is technically a sponsor. I shouldn't say technically, but they're like a sponsor.
They're more like a sponsor than a donator.
Right.
Sponsor
So
or contributor.
you are contributing, but you are more sponsoring the content. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so you should have special access. You should have things first or above and beyond somebody who's not sponsoring us. for lack of a better term. I think sponsor is probably one of the better ways to explain what a Patreon patron is and how our community works.
Yeah, as Spaceman Spliff says, like PBS sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah, I think that's a really good way of looking at
Right,
it.
because you are contributing sponsorship, if you will.
Yeah. Well, and that's what the Patreon slates are. They're saying, like, tomorrow brought to you by, well, that's what the slate is, right? Like, these
Right.
are the people who are giving you lots of, and I will find a way to make those names bigger next season. Whole new slates next season.
Yeah,
So.
we're figuring a few things out still.
I didn't ever think that we would have that many names in that slate up front. I am humbled and amazed at people willing, because let's be clear, when you're spending $10 per episode, you are spending potentially $40 per month to help this show. That is not an inconsequential amount of money.
Yeah.
And thank you, everyone that does that. And it's not even that, it's anyone who contributes at all to the show, because people are in different financial situations, right? So $40 to one person could be like nothing. It could be chump change. Whereas $40 to another person could be like all of their gas money for that month. I have no idea. Same thing with like $5 per episode or $1 per episode. It could be all your gas money. It could be money, and you're helping to contribute to the show. I'm not saying you should give us all your gas money. Don't do that. Spend within your means. Don't be stupid. But yeah, but we appreciate it. We absolutely appreciate it. I'm super excited to be able to share all of this work with you guys. I know, and especially
It's
if you...
so, like, to me, it's mind-blowing that people... Whoops, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
To me, it's mind-blowing that people think so highly of us that they're willing to do this.
Well, of
And
you guys. I think they contribute in spite of me.
Well, I mean, you know, I just...
It's neat, right?
It just feels so amazing that people are willing to do that. You guys blow my mind all the time, and I absolutely love it. Thank you guys. You're gonna make me cry.
Yeah. It does. It's hard sometimes, like wrapping up like the end of Space Pods or something, not to get choked up about it. It is. It's completely mind blowing.
Speaking of Orbit 10, new Space Pod intro video, which I think is much better. I'll give you guys. It's.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice, right?
I saw it while I was out camping. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty cool.
Oh my god.
All
I
in
wasn't able
4K.
to see that. I was able to see a lot of your other demo videos, except for the Space Pod intro one. So
Oh man.
Oh, that's
it's
too bad. It's
good.
really cool.
for some reason, it wouldn't load.
It's really cool,
I don't
so you'll like it. That's the other neat thing. All of the media that we're making is in 4K, which is funny. I did a poll on YouTube, or Facebook, excuse me, and I'm like, hey, what do you guys think of 4K? And basically everyone was like, don't care. So, and I've decided that I don't care that you don't care.
In true Ben Incredible
In
fashion.
right.
No. Here's the thing. Ben sometimes feels like he can't make a decision. And some of the best advice that anybody can give you is that when you're trying to make a decision, particularly between two distinctly different things, or similar things, but two things, right? Legitimately, the idea to flip a coin feels very just sort of stupid, and I don't want to leave it up to chance. It's not chance. What happens is, in that moment, you flip a coin, you say, heads, I'm definitely going for 4K. Tails, I'm never doing 4K, right? Just for sake of argument. You flip the coin, it lands on tails, and you go, damn it, I really wanted 4K. And so you don't have to stick with what the coin says, but it automatically generates that response in you of, crap, I really wanted to do 4K. Now you know what your answer is. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't have, it's not like a two-faced, Batman villain kind of crap going on. You don't have to stick with what the coin says. But if you are unsure and you really feel like you can't make that decision between those two different things, that will elicit a reaction.
Right. So here's the thought. That's exactly what happened with the
So
Facebook
Ben
poll.
does this huge thing and he goes, that's great, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do anyway.
But I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
So I use the poll,
flipped a
and
coin.
I do. That's what I do. I use these polls, and then you guys send out. You give me more information. These are actually very good techniques. It was you, Dutta or Carrie Ann. Someone mentioned
Probably
that. No, I think it might have been you. That, or maybe it was your mom. Someone basically said the way I work is I talk them out. Right. So I basically say things. And then I'll say them in different ways and see which one sticks. And that's how, was that you?
Yes.
All right.
Because for 15 years plus of my life, I've heard you say a whole bunch of crap, and I've taken it to be the truth. And then 10 seconds later, you totally do a completely different thing, and I go, "This is why I hate you."
I think I might have planted that seed like a week and a half ago on a completely different subject where I told you need a cat. So you have a problem.
Yes.
And you talk to your cat and
Yes.
you explain your problem to your cat, and in doing so, you decide what it is. You figure out what it is that you need in order
That's
to get
exactly
out
what
of
I
the
do.
problem.
So, and I use every medium that I have available to get
Yeah.
me through these things.
You process for a really long time.
I do, but I feel like I do a fairly good job of getting to where I need to
And
get
then
to.
we're all surprised that he makes rash decisions.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the weirdest thing, man.
But they're not rash decisions.
They're not rash to you. They're rash to the rest of us. Because you told Dutta that you would never do 4K. You told me they were thinking of maybe doing 4K. You had a discussion with Jared about how stupid 4K is. You talked with Mike and you were like, "Fuck it, 4K. Why don't we just do 8K anyway?" You talked to Kat and you're like, "You know what? I'm gonna shut down tomorrow. I hate doing this." And the next thing you know, like, you buy up Disney, and we're like, "What the hell happened?" That's why we all get confused.
Right.
This
100% accurate.
Thank you. Like, for the love.
That is a fair description
Oh my
because
God.
I do, in fact, go to each person and say something different.
And then we
to
all look at
see-
each other. We're like, "What happened?" Well, I don't know. This
That's
is what he
right.
said to me. This is what he said to me.
And
What did
it's
he talk
never the
to
same.
you?
It is, in
No.
fact, never the same.
We had this conversation like the night before last.
God.
Little slate things with the
So stupid.
Oh my God.
This is
So-
like one of the main fundamental differences between you and I, because what I will do is I'll tell a story to Jared, I'll see the good parts that got a good reaction out of him, and I'll keep those, and then I'll tell the same exact story to Mike, and if I don't get the same reaction I get out of Jared, then I modify it ever so slightly. Then I tell the same exact story to Kat, and then I'll just change it ever so slightly, so everyone gets nearly identical stories, and I get funnier every time I tell it.
But I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to create an inspiring show for the planet. And to do that,
I am an inspiring show for the planet. Oh no.
And
sorry.
to do that, I need to bounce
Sorry.
different ideas or ideas in different ways off
I know,
of people
I
in
know, that's-
ways that I know.
that's
so
the
yes,
way you process.
I can
I
see
know.
how this would be flustering to different people and how you can think that I make rash decisions.
You guys, I just came up with a really great idea.
Oh God.
Ben, you make sure that you pay the caption people really well for this episode because this shit's going in your divorce papers.
Oh my God. Space Kyle, you are all just pawns to me. What are you going to do to me, Carrie Ann?
Ben, shh. Ben's not listening right now.
I'm not listening right now.
I have a really great idea.
What are you gonna do?
We need to come up with something that we need to each talk to him individually about.
Oh my God.
It needs to be ever so slightly different. And then we need to do something totally crazy. And then when he says that we're all nuts, we get to go, "You do the same thing all the time!"
The problem is I probably won't say you're all nuts. I'll just go with it.
You know I'm all about that equal opportunity.
So, after the Facebook poll, here's what happened. Someone mentioned something, and I realized that that's how I think, which is, here's my official stance on 4K. It's stupid. 4K is stupid. It doesn't make any sense today. But in 5 to 10 years, when you go back and look at the shows, it's going to be a huge difference between doing HD and 4K now versus then. And so, like, if you go back and look at our original shows, you can actually see like the quality drop down when we were in our basement because it was basically standard definition between that and high definition. So we are going to move to 4K. We're not going to move to 8K because that's even more stupid. And moving to 4K right now doesn't really cost us anything. It costs us very little extra money. Inconsequential, like the set is what costs us the most amount of money.
Yeah.
Moving to 8K or 4K is a very, very tiny amount of money. Moving to 8K is an obscene amount of money that we simply cannot afford. It doesn't make any sense. There's no live equipment for it. There's nothing like that. The show will not be broadcast live in 4K because that does require a lot of money, and 4K is stupid. So we're not going to do that. The show will continue to broadcast live in high definition, just like this. It will be recorded in 4K. All the media elements are 4K. He will not be 4K. He'll be upscaled to 4K, but that's okay. And as elements come out, like Skype, that allow us to upgrade Space Mic to 4K, we'll just drop that one element into 4K, and you'll see little things of the show kind of improve over time. That's why 4K makes sense to me right now. That's why we're going to do it right now, simply so we future-proof the show. Besides, we're the show tomorrow. We should be using technology from tomorrow.
Ben, aren't you sure you don't want to use 2K first?
We are on 2K.
I like Twicken's comment.
No, that's a legit thing. We are legitimately on 2K right now.
Yeah.
What? Who?
Twicken.
Twicken's comment?
What'd Twicken say?
Fuck it, record on film.
Yeah.
That's what they did for Westworld. Film is stupid, actually. I don't understand why anyone would record on film anymore. There used to be this film look that you would get. That's not the case anymore. So, unless you just like pain, I don't know why you'd record on film.
It's searching, maybe? I don't know.
It's aesthetic.
No, it's not.
It's not necessarily aesthetic that is presented in the theater. It's aesthetic that you're just shooting on film.
Sure, it's ego.
So
It's personal.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, it's stupid.
Dude, vinyl's the way to go.
Vinyl.
I still don't feel like digital cinema reaches as good as good film can be. Because have you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey in a 70 millimeter print?
Oh my God, they did it in 70 millimeter?
Yeah.
They did the original in IMAX.
Yeah.
70 millimeters IMAX, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
So
well, it wasn't IMAX back then. It was just the format that was used.
they shot
why they're
2001 in
released
70.
I'm
To
gonna
put this into perspective, a 70 millimeter thing is this big. Traditional film is about that big, right? It's a quarter the size.
I don't know if it was shot in 70 millimeter, but I've seen it played back on 70 millimeter at the American Cinematheque here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but that's shenanigans.
and it is mind blowing.
Yeah, but how is that any different
It
than
is
us shooting the show in
unbelievable.
1080p and scaling it up to 4K and then delivering it in 4K?
But I can't remember if 2001 was actually shot in 70. Actually, I think it might have been 65 millimeter maybe, because that seems a little bit
Frankly,
more
that's close enough to 70.
appropriate.
Anyhow.
It was shot in.
I don't know.
It was shot in 65 millimeters.
If somebody
65, okay. 65 is close enough
Okay.
to 70 where I would buy that. I would
Holy
totally buy
smokes!
that.
I'm telling you, if you can ever go see an original 65 or a 70 millimeter print of 2001, go do it.
All right.
It's just
If anyone ever sees that in the Los Angeles area, let me know.
yeah. See, somebody says that they've seen it at the Egyptian Theater, which is where I saw it at, and it was awesome. So there you go.
Yep.
Max.
Actually, that is valid. I will say film does make sense. Okay, that is one scenario where film makes sense. The sensors on digital cameras today have not caught up to 70 millimeter film. But if you're shooting 35 or Super 35, there's no reason to shoot film. If you're shooting 70 millimeter or IMAX, which is basically the same thing, then yeah, I get that. There is not a digital sensor that does that today. Or there's not a reasonable digital sensor that I'm aware of that does that today with the same dynamic range as film. They're all the qualifiers.
And tartar sauce, I know that they've got a brand new print of it at the Egyptian, and I've got a coworker of mine who's a 2001 nut, so he's going to all 9 of the showings, and I've been trying to talk my way into him giving me a ticket, but no luck so far. But it's all right.
Anyhow, Space Kyle, I refuse to watch Orbit 10 if it's not in 3D. I was looking at 3D tech, not necessarily for tomorrow, but for some of the other places I work. I was looking at 3D because they were all hot and heavy over that for a while, and I kind of fought back. The same thing with VR. I'm going to probably try some VR tests, but I'm not sold on it just yet. It feels a little bit like 3D. You got it. Once VR will be awesome once they get rid of the goggles and the headwear, but excuse me.
VR is in like the MS-DOS phase right now. I'm gonna wait until there's at least a Windows 98. Get what I'm saying?
Maybe. I think VR will have a really cool application for games. Like, I totally get it with games. Don't have to sell me on that at all. For movie making, the director wants to guide your attention in a specific way. So unless you're doing a different type of storytelling with VR, which you could do, if you want to do actual storytelling like we do right now, VR actually takes away from the experience and doesn't add to it. And so I don't like those things. I don't like things like high frame rate in movies. I thought I would love. I saw it with the
Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Hated it.
I hated it. I absolutely.
couldn't deal
it
with
took
it.
away from the story. It was not okay. The digital effects in episodes 1, 2, and 3 from Star Wars took away from it. It didn't add to it. They were not okay. 3D does not add to the story in a movie theater. It generally takes away from it. So I'm not okay with it, and I think that's how I am a lot with the VR tech. You have to use it, if you can use it in a way that tells the story better, then it's okay. There you go.
Says someone who has tickets to 3D Rogue One.
No, I don't think it's 3D.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2D.
No.
All right, well, crap.
Refund! Ah!
Are you sure? Because sometimes they mark it as incorrect. Like we had that happen once where they said it was 3D on the thing, but it actually wasn't.
That may be the case, but when I looked last night, the 3 p.m. showtime was 3D.
Damn it. By the way, we've got a Rogue One showing today. So there you go. Not with you.
Yeah, unfortunately,
you.
I can't make it.
Yep. There you go.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, that sucks. Go ahead, Mike.
So we have 2 space pods left this year. You guys can expect one from me and one from Jared. And I have a bunch of ideas, but I guess what I wanted to ask the chat room especially was, and you guys, was whether or not
Time.
going to have a kind of longer version or what you would like the topic to be, whether or not you just want me to focus on some of the same sort of stuff that I've been covering all year, if you were to do a 2016 wrap-up, which I feel like we did pretty well already on the live show, and just give me any ideas and suggestions for what you'd like to see for the last space pods from us in Orbit 10.
Oh, speaking of
Orbit 9.
So speaking of space pods for Orbit 10, couple of notes. First is never let a news item in the live show impact a space pod. So if you end up with the same item in both, that's okay. Because the news in the show will be condensed. It just, by its very nature, will be more conversational, less information packed. It'll just be kind of a little like, hey, here's kind of what's going on. Whereas in a space pod, you can spend more time, do more research, throw out more numbers. So it's okay to have a news item in both. Don't fear that. At the same time, don't make a space pod that regurgitates one-to-one what was done in a live show or vice versa. Yeah, I saw that.
That's all
That's
of
our
the
page?
products.
That's all of our products? All right. So there's that part. I thought there was another thing I wanted to talk about in space pods. I'm going to give you style guides for the open. You're going to get the new graphics. I think that was about it. Oh, get out more.
This is real and live.
Especially you. We need to get you to Griffith with a camera.
Yeah.
You.
I don't know if that's going to be allowed.
Yeah.
I kind of don't care.
I kind of do because I like working up there.
Can we figure out how to make that happen? Like, I realize that they don't want media entities shooting like movies and whatnot without licenses and paying for it. But is there a way to? This is different. You know what I mean? This is not. This is to highlight kind of what they're doing.
You just put a body cam on
Like,
it and I'll follow
just
him around.
no. I mean, I'm okay getting permission. I just need to know who to talk to.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to go and I guess you're gonna have to tell me exactly what you want, and then I will have to go ask someone and see who to talk to.
I want a tour. I want your tour on camera.
Okay.
Cut up and do different things.
Okay.
They can say no. We don't have to do it, but let's try, right? Let's try to get a yes.
Okay. Sure.
All right, cool.
I'll give it a go this week.
We need to get you out of your studio space and into more things that are out of that space. Interviewing people, talking to people. You tell me what we need to do to make that happen, and we're going to do that in Orbit 10. But I don't want to see this unless I have to. Well, not this, more like
Well-
this.
I was already working on a different background. This one will definitely be retired after this.
Don't want a background. I want you like out and about. That's the thing with the space pods,
I'm
right?
not, but I need a different background though for the live shows though.
Oh.
Unless you want want me outside for the live shows, in which case we're gonna have quite a few issues.
Actually,
Number one, I would need to have a really strong connection to be outdoors.
No.
doing that,
Let's
not just in my
ignore
own
outside.
backyard.
What's near you?
Orbital ATK has 3 facilities nearby me.
Can we do any sort of partnership with them? Where do they have anything? Are they all office buildings, or are there any cool spacey things in the background?
Their main rocket factory is here, where they assemble all of the Pegasus rockets and the upper stages for the Minotaurs, which is the same thing. The Minotaur upper stages and the Pegasus is the same thing.
So 2 comments
and
on
they
that.
manufacture all of their satellites here as well.
So
Or at
2
least
comments on that. That's like half a year's worth of space pods right there. We need to find you a contact over there, get you in there, and have them talk about what they're doing. How awesome is that? Right. That's A. But B, do we have a relationship? Could we move you over? How far away from how far away is that?
From my current location, it's like a 15, 20-minute drive to any of their locations.
It'd be really cool if we could put you there for the live shows.
That would be cool. I was just thinking that, like, they have this little testing area that they, like, it's for, like, some of, like, the really, really tiny solids that they offer, because they actually have a huge inventory of solids that you can order from them.
All right, citizens of tomorrow, if you know anyone at Orbital ATK who can help us make this happen, I would like to get Space Mike out there.
Rocket Heels.
Rocket Heels did not reply to my last messages.
Okay.
So anyone other than Rocket Heels, and or if someone can get Rocket Heels to reply to my messages, someone at Orbital ATK who can help us get Space Mike out there for live shows and also do a cool little interview so we can do space pods on what they're doing, I think that'd be awesome. I think that'd be really cool. Because I am not afraid of solid fuels, people.
Neuropilot.
What did Neuropilot say? Oh.
We could find out where they filmed Iron Man. It was so
Yeah, I happen to know that where they film. I happen to know for fact where they filmed Iron Man. They will not allow us to shoot. I know that with absolute certainty that is not happening. Right?
Origin? No, they're in Texas.
The people at the Tony Stark's company up north as well will not let us.
His company up north.
Talking about the electric car company?
Edwards.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh yeah, we can't. I don't
No.
even think Armstrong would let us film.
Anyhow,
either.
there you go. I want more dynamic stuff, and as we start doing these things, if you guys don't have tools necessary to do this, I've been looking at like the gyro stabilized cameras, little 4K. What are those from DJI? I forgot. Osmo, I think it is. Yeah.
Oh, like the GoPro Karma.
Like that, but the DJI version, because it's all kind of self-encapsulated.
Gotcha.
So you just kind of bring it out. It's all stabilized. You just hit record, and then I'm looking at. This might make life better or worse. I'm not sure. It's a microphone that has a self-recorder, so you don't have to do
I
any
would
wireless.
like that.
Yeah. So there's no wireless link. So it records on this little thing. So just you drop it in your back. You hit record, drop it in your back pocket, record the video, and then you go back in Final Cut or Premiere and say synchronize audio, and it lines it back up, and you shut off the audio from the.
So nice.
Yeah, but you have to do that extra step. And the other thing I'd like to do is I'm trying to move all of our elements to 4K, so I get you the 4K cameras, which means you'd have to edit in 4K, which means, oh my God, it's going to take longer.
Okay.
Just so you know.
That's fine.
I just warning everyone.
Probably gonna need a new computer, but I can do it.
I might be able to help with some of that too. Not yet. We need to get all of this going because this
Yeah.
is god awful expensive.
Absolutely.
Anyhow, there you go. That's we don't have to do that all right out of the gate, but I'd like to get to there.
Eventually. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking forward to my first space pod of 2017.
What's your first space pod?
I'm not going to talk about it
All right.
because I'm going to make sure that I have everything set to do it before I. Because I've been talking about it for a while, but I will not be in my garage for it.
That's
So.
cool. That's the other thing I wanted to mention is more covering shots. This is a rule of thumb, not a real rule. But if you've got a single shot that's on the screen for more than 30 seconds, probably closer to 20 seconds, you should really look at what else can I put here.
Okay.
Right? That's actually more you than you. You do a fairly decent job. We get a lot of your talking head. It would be nice to have less talking head, more like, here's what I'm talking about, kind of supporting media. Supporting media in these is very, very important. Actually, that is true for everyone for all of the shows. So, like live shows and space pods, yeah?
Let's have too much media than not enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
exactly.
words, yeah. Like, I would love, Like actually in the interview, I had a little extra media. I should have had more media for the interview, but
The video I didn't get to.
yeah, we didn't get to the video. A couple other things. Well, we'll loop back around to that. So, give us way too much stuff for the live show and for the space pods. And if you've got a segment that doesn't have any supporting media, let us know 48 hours in advance so we can look at alternate options. If there's no supporting media, we may just cut the news segment.
Okay.
All right. I think those are all my thoughts on.
Does that cover the discussion we had last night?
I think so.
Okay.
Right? That's fair, right? If there's no supporting media, if there aren't at least at minimum 2 things we can go to, we probably shouldn't cover the news for that item. Probably. The thing is, that's not always true. We have to use judgment on this stuff, right? If there is breaking news that happens 5 minutes before the show, then we're going to go to that breaking news. We're going to do it without media.
Yeah.
That's going to be a thing. But
Yeah, like we did that with the what was it? The scrub that the Russians had on that Progress launch.
But I feel like
one
we
time.
were able to pull media in
Were
somehow.
we able to pull media for
I
it?
don't remember.
I don't remember for it either. So I just remember that happened like 10 minutes before the show, and we were like, "Oh, we got to get that on the show because that's not happened in a while." So.
That's one of the things, and I will do better. We need that more for the interviews too. I need to get more supporting media. I need to come up with like some guidelines for our guests to say, hey, I need at least, what do you think, like 10 things to go to during the interview?
5 or 10, yeah.
10, I'll say 10. And then, all right, 10 things for the interview, 4 things, 2 things per news, 3 things.
4.
4?
Yeah.
4 things per news story, 10 things for the interview, 15, 10. 10 things for the interview, and that's fine. And we're going to do, for Orbit 10, I'm going to set timelines of like night before. We've been very loosey-goosey with the timelines. I think I need to set like, you've actually been really good with it, Space Mike. We never set a real timeline, so you just kind of do it the day of or late that next day. But if we can do like 9 p.m. Pacific time, is that a fair time? I'm looking at Dutta because we all have to look at the rundown. All right.
Yeah.
So 9 p.m. You're all bored because we're figuring this out. All right. So Orbit 10, rundown lockdown, 9 p.m. Friday night, Pacific time.
Have all of your stories in place.
I don't need the media at that time, but I need to know what you're going to use.
Yeah, just like a highlight of what media you're going to have, so that if you need help finding something, we can go, oh yeah, I've got this other thing.
I also don't need your bullet points. All I need are your
story and just that you've got media planned. You don't have to have it edited. You
Right.
don't have to have it uploaded. Just that you've got a plan.
And the reason we need that is because Dutta and I actually do look at the rundowns in advance, and you'll notice we changed the rundown for this show.
Yeah.
It gives us an opportunity to kind of, move things around, and it gives us a little extra time to go, we don't like the story, we're going to kill it, we're going to replace it with something else, so we have time to kind of reformat the show. So, all right, new rules. 4 items per news story, done by 9 p.m. Pacific time on Friday, at least the headlines. I don't care about your notes at all. And then the media itself has to be done 3 hours prior to the show, right? Because we need upload time. So 3 hours prior to the show, we need the media. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Does that seem doable? Doable?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That works for you, Dutta? All right, cool. Sweet. Ow. And 10, I said 10 for me, right? What do I do? We should talk offline. I got to figure out I need to figure out how to communicate that to our guests and like how we're going to deal with some of that stuff. Like how we need to figure out. I think where I fail right now is communicating. A, I don't put enough media in for the interview, but then B, I don't communicate a good way of like when to go to it or how to go to it or like how I'm going to tie to it. And so I need to figure that. Like we need code words or something that I say, blueberry banana pants, and you go to, image number 4.
Blueberry banana
That's
pants.
the code word that comes first off of the top of your head.
That's
blueberry banana pants.
That's his safe word.
I was about to say, is that a code word or a safe word?
Blueberry banana pants. You guys are all familiar with blueberry banana pants, right?
It's been going on for years.
You know blueberry banana pants.
I don't know what's going on here.
Blueberry banana pants. All right, we've got a Rogue One movie. And we've got a set.
A Rogue One movie to catch.
We've got a Rogue One movie to catch, and we've got a set to tear down and a show to edit. So thank you, everyone. It was a lot of fun.
See you next year.
See you next year.
Yeah, on the new set.
New set, maybe. Assuming Dutta gets it done. God.
We will. We will have it done.
Maybe. I see like 2 panels of. How many panels are there total?
8.
Bye, everyone.